Why am I watching this? Why are we doing this still? Generic Control that goes me. We're back with another kill count reaction. Today we're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 and the 2012 remake, which is 5 and 6. But let's go ahead and jump on into this. Alright. Hopefully there's no copyright issues with this series. Also, it's so good to be back watching kill counts.
We tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A.
Last week there was none.
We're looking at Silent Night, Deadly Night 5,
because of
Toy Maker.
YouTube's trying to kill my channel right now. YouTube doing something.
Once again, we've got a sequel in this series that has nothing to do with any of the movies that came before it. But hey, unlike Part 4, at least this one actually involves Christmas. Brian Usna, who directed Part 4, returned to co-write and produce The Toy Maker. But in the director's chair this time was Martin Kidrosser, who had previously written the screenplays for Friday the 13th Parts 3 and 5, and who would eventually settle into a career as Quentin Tarantino's go-to script supervisor, which I found interesting. Finally,
I wonder how that happened.
Came back to do this movie's special effects, which included more of his weird bug shit, and also a whole host of killer toys that seemed straight out of a Full Moon flick. Now, if you thought Part 4 Initiation was weird, well, you're totally right. But The Toy Maker is bonkers too. Not only is the ending one of the most bizarre things I've ever put on this channel, but we've also got screen legend Mickey Rooney running around as a possibly evil toy maker. And that's actually extra funny because Mickey Rooney had written an angry letter to the filmmakers behind the original Silent Night, Deadly Night back when everyone was still all pissed about that movie. Oh, and to top off this movie's mountain of questionable decisions, while the story is unrelated to anything from the first four movies,
so why did
a few of the actors from Part 4 returned to play characters who may or may not be the same people from that movie. It's pretty fucking weird, man, but so is this entire damn franchise. Let's get to the kills.
It has to be one of the weirdest franchises I have ever heard of.
At an unassuming house on Christmas Eve, where little Derek Quinn hears the doorbell ring and comes downstairs to see if it's Santa. His parents couldn't come to the door because they were a little preoccupied. Derek finds a present on the porch that's addressed to him for the next day.
Don't open till Christmas.
Listening to the tag, he takes it inside and opens it up immediately.
Naughty.
His premature present unwrapping gets stopped when his hairy dad comes out of nowhere to yell at him.
God damn it, Derek! How many times do I have to tell you not to open the front door by yourself?
Wait, dude, were you wearing that gold chain during the Christmas sex you were having just a minute ago? Derek watches from the staircase as his dad investigates the present box, which all of a sudden starts to rumble like a bubble ball. Turns out that inside is a Pokeball? Well, I guess it looks more like a Cherish ball, to be honest, but it actually ends up being a Santa Claus toy that Derek's dad
is it a grenade?
Awfully amusing.
It looks like a bobber for fishing.
And gains an electric grill out of nowhere before sprouting some hands and feet and wrapping them around Tom's face. Oh no, Tom is choking on Santa's ball. Derek watches as his dad runs into the stockings with care and flails around in slow motion until the ball finally gets the best of him and causes him to fall right onto a fire poker that had fallen to the floor. And even though it was a first-person type thing, we still get to see the aftermath of Tom's impaled head.
Yikes, 5 minutes in.
George. After Derek's mom, Sarah, comes downstairs and finds the nasty scene, we get ourselves a title card. And geez, it's got like 3 or 4 different poorly implemented motion graphics. Hell yeah, iMovie. 2 weeks later, Sarah and Derek are still reeling from Tom's death, with Derek so upset he hasn't even touched his food.
What is that
now
table? Why is it so small?
Happy? Sarah gets a visit from her friend Kim,
play table?
played by Neith Hunter, and Kim brought along a kid named Lonnie, played by Brian Usna's son Conan Usna. So I guess they're the same characters from Initiation, right?
What are you doing?
I'm not sure yet, Lonnie, but let's see where this thing goes. Derek sees a commercial for his dad's murder weapon on the TV, which, you know, is pretty upsetting to see. And when Sarah goes to come for him by their window, we see that a young dude in a truck is spying in on her. Dude's all like,
that's pretty
suspicious. If you got a kid, Sarah Quinn be fine. To try to cheer Derek up, Sarah takes him to Pedo's
toy shop,
which is run by Mr. Pedo, Joe. And don't get the wrong idea, okay? This isn't like a pedophile thing, although you'd be forgiven if you made that mistake. No, the play on words here is that the dude's name is Joe Pedo, like Geppetto. Joe is, of course, played by Mickey Rooney, my favorite drunken lighthouse operator, and he's got a real weird son named Pino. You know, like Pinocchio. Pino is so off-kilter that Joe doesn't even want him around. Get back in the office and down into your floor hatch, Pino. While Mickey Rooney gives the best performance of the
Wait a minute, isn't there like a toy maker in Pinocchio?
Dude walks into the store.
Isn't that who makes Pinocchio, right?
Pino returns.
I've never seen it.
Derek a real gross-looking bug toy.
What are you doing with that?
It's for the boy, Father. I want you to have this. My father made it.
Oh, no thanks. We're good on the bug shit. Sarah
swear
and
if his
Derek
nose
leave,
grows.
Joe immediately turns on the rage machine, yelling at Pino for being a shitty son.
I'd rather have a son like that.
Pretty fucking awkward with that one dude still in the store. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
and he's
check
overhearing all of
aisles
this?
before your next domestic dispute, Joe. The mystery man buys a bunch of toys, among them that Larry the larva bug that Pino tried to push on the Quins. He also inadvertently drops a newspaper clipping from his pocket when he gets his wallet
keeps
out
that in
to
their
pay.
back pocket?
After he leaves, Joe finds the clipping and sees that it's about Tom Quinn's accident. This is why you gotta keep your clippings in a scrapbook, stranger. Our center part of
why did you just have that in his back
apparently has
pocket?
had a problem paying rent, so to buy himself some time, he gives his
Why does he have
landlord
toys?
Harold that Larry the larva toy that he accidentally bought from Joe's.
This better be good.
Yeah, it's to die for.
That's such a weird line to me, because spoiler, this
To die
character
for.
isn't evil or in on the killer toys thing, but that line makes you think he is. Like, sure, you could call it intentional
knows.
misleading, but I call it sloppy fucking writing, dog. While the landlord is driving
Or maybe
home, having
they
a gas scat session with
Didn't
himself,
know how to write it, whether or not he was gonna be in
Larry
on
the
it later
larva guy
on.
breaks out of his box and slithers up to the front seat for a little bit of playtime. Dude probably shouldn't be fucking with that worm while he drives, but how can he help it? He's
What does he
getting
have
a
in
real
his
damn
hand?
kick out of this toy.
Look at that thing.
Yeah,
Out the window.
looking. It's a fucking bug, dude. The bug develops some electric pincers and leaps right into the landlord's mouth, so he sits there sucking on it while his car goes all crazy. Eventually, the bug chokes him to death, I guess.
Okay.
But the awesome part is when the dude's fucking eyes get sucked into his head. What the fuck? Oh, yeah.
That's
Screaming
nuts.
Mad George. You nasty, son.
And it comes
You
out the
nasty.
eye?
And you know what? Fuck it. Let's punctuate the kill by having the car flip off the road and explode.
Okay, why would it explode?
Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, motherfucker. The stranger
I love how
goes
they
back
did
to
that in the area
Peddles
where
and
there's
breaks into
nothing
the place,
around.
where he heads to the office and finds a picture of Joe from back when Mickey Rooney didn't need to do movies like this for cash. But despite the photo being a couple decades old, Pino
He's still
looks
the same,
exactly
yeah.
the same. I guess Pino just aged like fine wine. The next day,
didn't
Sarah
age
and
at
Derek
all.
head to a Studio City mini mall where the stranger works as a mall Santa alongside, wait, Clint Howard?
Ice
What are
cream
you
man.
even doing here, man?
Hey, Ricky, you seen the boss? I gotta ask him about my chick.
Oh my god, and his name is Ricky again? But we watched the Ricky from Initiation.
It
die
has to
at
be the
end
same
of that
dude,
movie.
right?
So, like, come on, this can't be the same character, right? I mean, this Ricky looks like he knows how to interact with people and shower. But whatever, man, this is the only scene he's in, so I guess it's not important. The stranger is sitting in the
I guess
hot
they did
seat
to
when
make
it's
it
Derek's turn
feel like
to
you had to
revel in
watch
holiday grief,
Initiation.
But the boy refuses to say anything, and when Sarah goes to take him home, the stranger gets all weird.
No, don't go.
Yo, fuck off, dude. That's my
That's
kid.
weird.
Last, I almost had another child slave to work the toy factory. While the Quins have been out on their little mini mall adventure, Pino has used an old key hidden under a block to break into their house. He goes through their stuff and fondles
that's
Sarah's
normal.
wedding picture, and during this snooping, we see that the Santa toy that killed Derek's dad is
God,
still
why
on
is
his
it still
shelf.
there?
Pino's still in there, looking at Sarah's cocaine mirror when she and Derek get home, and after scaring them from the closet, he runs out like a little weirdo. Polo! She goes to Pedos and yells at Joe, who tells her he and Pino used to live at her house and had to move into the toy store when they couldn't afford the mortgage anymore. Sarah's like,
Valid.
yo, that's sad and all, but keep your weirdo son away from my weirdo son. Joe turns back into scary Mickey
Okay.
Rooney, and later on that night, he yells at Pino and slaps him in the face. Jesus, Joe.
Why?
Then we get a bunch of real weird faces and real weird line deliveries.
You bastard!
Is Pino gonna be evil?
Sorry, Father.
Before Joe smashes a booze bottle over Pino's head and sends him tumbling backwards down the cellar stairs. That snaps Joe out of his patriarchal rage and sends him scrambling to his knocked out son's side. Sarah gives Derek a present to open, but it's another goddamn porch present. So Derek is all
Why
like,
are
"No
we
thanks,
doing
but no
this
thanks."
still?
She goes downstairs to let Kim in, and during
I guess
the
they didn't know.
conversation, I'm pretty sure she confirms that she's the same character from Initiation.
I mean, you would not believe the things that I've been through. Hardly believe them myself.
Well, all I know is that I can't go on this way.
Wow, Sarah, maybe if you did more listening and less waiting to speak, you could have heard a cool story about witches and bugs and shit. Derek sneaks out during the women's
Is he gonna
one-sided
remove the
conversation
present?
and turns that
Bro
porch
never wants to
present
open a
into
present
garbage
again.
bin. But uh-oh, Lonnie's outside, standing on a tree or
Why?
something, and he's not above going trash picking for presents. He opens it to find some wicked inline skates, confirming
Ooh, okay.
that this is the 90s, then pops those babies on and takes
I
them for a
used those in
spin
the
as
early
his mom
2000s.
leaves Sarah's house. Eventually, the roller skates light light up like fireworks and send him soaring up a driveway. The rocket stays taking
every
up and
dude
down
has
the
thought
drive,
about this.
totally out of control, until he spins right into the street and holy shit, that kid just got hit by a car. Oh fuck, man. Don't worry, he's not
Didn't
dead.
even
While
dent the
Sarah
car,
visits
though.
Lonnie at the hospital, Derek answers his front door to find the stranger, acting all kinds of weird and trying to give the poor kid more unmarked presents.
Very special toy for a very special boy.
Oh my
Who
God.
are you?
What's wrong, Derek? You don't want to be this guy's very special boy?
No.
Derek's babysitter Meredith
No.
comes to the rescue
No.
and locks the stranger out. Although she does tell the dude where Sarah works, which, like, next
Why?
time, show a little more discretion there, Mare Bear. And so, after Sarah leaves work that night, she runs into the stranger in the parking garage. He calls for her by name, and when she sees him, she starts running away. But
I mean,
guess
yeah,
what?
this parking
Turns out
garage.
that makes no fucking sense. Because when he catches up to her, they just start making out. For like, yeah,
What?
a good minute there, too.
Why did you run from me?
Make it fun?
I don't know.
I guess I just needed to pad this thing and make it feel more like a horror movie. Turns out
They
these two
know
were actually a
that they're
couple
silly.
6 years ago, and apparently the
6 years?
stranger, named Noah, is also Derek's real dad. Sarah had left Noah without telling him she was pregnant because she didn't think he was ready to settle down. But also...
And I needed security for that, and you couldn't give it to me, and Tom could.
But, you did tell Tom that Derek wasn't his kid,
No.
right, Sarah? Right, Sarah?
She did
Just
not.
hope so. Noah says that now he's more mature and ready to be a daddy. And a daddy.
Really?
By the looks of that makeout sesh, I think Sarah's into the idea too. Speaking of
6 years,
makeout sessions,
she
after
just
Meredith
lost
puts
her
Derek
husband.
down for the night in his mom's bed, she has her boyfriend Buck over and they use Derek's room to get their grind on. Oh, with them shiny panties too? Poor Derek can hear those things swishing around from the other room. The two sex scenes are intercut, which is a little weird, although they do offer a humorous contrast between inexperienced teenage lovers and much more down to business adult fucking. Unbeknownst to Meredith and Buck, however, Joe Petto has snuck into the house dressed like Kris Kringle, and he empties his sack to leave a perfectly set up display of toys on the floor of Derek's room.
And
right
nobody
behind
heard
them.
that.
Meredith eventually notices them, but Buck quickly tries to write them off.
I don't know, they were here when we got here.
Yeah,
They were in front of the door? You
definitely
don't remember
started
stepping over
fucking
this?
with a severed arm toy in the bed. Okay. That severed
That
arm
was the best
toy
of us.
ends up sneaking up and molesting both teenagers in the height of this movie's quote-unquote comedy.
Put it back on. Put it back on.
Actually, you know what? That guy sold it. It's pretty funny. Eventually, the hand changes from a lover into a fighter and starts choking Buck, all while a snake ties up Meredith's wrists around Buck's body. After Derek comes in to ask the teens to keep their fucking a little quieter, Joe comes from behind and throws a sack over the kid to abduct him, leaving the teens behind to fend off a bunch of killer toys. A tank shoots Meredith in the chest. Wow, it blew a hole right through her there. But somehow, that's not enough to kill her, because Buck ends up being the only one who dies. It happens after a killer robot Hot Wheels revs up and sticks a landing in his chest, then uses a couple of whirring saw blades to cut into his neck. We don't see it too explicitly, though, because Henry and June turn the page to Action League Now instead. During their front seat
filming for this,
Noah tells Sarah that Joe Petto maimed some kids a few years ago.
They arrested him one Christmas for booby trapping toys. He'd rig them with lethal devices, and then he sent them to kids all around town. A couple of kids got hurt pretty bad. I think one of them even died.
Whoa, that sounds pretty intense, dude. Why'd he do it?
From what I remember, he went off the deep end when his wife was killed in a car accident. She was pregnant at the time.
Oh my God.
I guess he felt if he couldn't have a happy family,
and then he made Pino?
Oh, it's another John Kramer situation, huh? When will these horror movie killers learn that enduring a tragedy doesn't give you a license to murder? After Sarah and Noah get back to her house, this somehow still living Meredith jumps onto their windshield, and she and Sarah play a game of repeat everything you say.
Buck's dead! Buck's dead! Where's Derek? Where's Derek?
I don't know! Meredith tells them that Joe Petto came and kidnapped Derek, so Sarah hops in the car to go
How
get
did
him
she
back.
know that? I guess they saw
I'm sure
that?
You want to go save your newly confirmed kid, but you've got this bloody teenager on your hands? Damn, man. If only there were a random character who could...
Oh my God, what happened?
Kim! Perfect! Here, take this girl and never be seen from again. I'm gonna go be part of this movie's finale. Bye! Sarah goes to Petto's and up some stairs around back to enter he and Pino's living quarters, where she finds threatening pictures of her and Derek and a fake severed head that looks like it could be a couch pillow in Guillermo del Toro's house. Noah arrives a little later and uses his thieves' tools to break into the toy store. Damn, that was fast. He must have rolled in that.
It's just glass.
He goes back
You
to
could
the
just
cellar
break
door of
it.
the office and goes downstairs, only to get shot at by a flying warplane toy. He's able to beat it with some help from a bear, though. Good work, Trooper Ruxpin. When he opens another door, he finds Joe with a squirt gun shooting him in the eye.
Acid.
Oh man, hope it wasn't soapy water. I would occasionally do that as a kid. Sometimes I could be a dick little kid, man. Sarah follows the commercial
mean, my brother threw those like pop things at me.
And in a very
burn
back
holes
room,
in your
she
shirts.
finds a crazy, bubbling, crackling laboratory. She knocks over one of the mannequins in there, only to discover that it's not a mannequin at all. It's Joe Petto? Oh no, Joe Petto's dead via a black eye.
So is there like
wait a minute, we just saw
Is
Jim.
it Pino?
He's standing right there in a Samus.
Is Pino pretending to be him?
Here?
Pretty mommy.
You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. But this movie's gonna tell me
know
anyway.
either.
Turns out that since we saw him sneak into Sarah's house with those toys, Joe Petto has actually been a fucking robot, and that fucking robot has actually been Pino. Again, just so you're clear, Pino has been an android this whole time. Then he killed his dad after their little scuffle and put on a dad mask to go fuck shit up. And if you're wondering about the science behind all this, don't worry.
Couldn't he just
Pino
impersonate anybody else?
It's very simple. All you need is a little of that, and a little of that, and a little of that.
Oh, never mind. He doesn't explain shit. What's great, though, is how actor Brian Bremer gives an insane performance as a weird android who just needs to show you what he's packing. Or rather, what he ain't packing. Okay, Pino, we get it. You don't have a Pino. You can put those pants back on now.
I tried to be a good boy, Father.
Well, good boys wear pants. Get them up.
Yep.
And good boys definitely don't try to have sex with their adoptive mothers. What the fuck, Pino?
You can be my mommy.
Damn you! Where's Derek? You don't need Derek! I can be your
Where
son
is Derek?
now. I can!
Oh my god, Pino, that is not how sons behave if they're not named
What
Edward.
in the world?
I love you! I love you!
Oh no, what are we even doing here? Why am I even sharing this with all you?
Why am I
You didn't
watching
ask
this?
for this?
I knew you'd come.
Yeah, but probably not with you, champ. Sarah sticks Pino in the head with a screwdriver, inspiring him to do the latest robot dance moves, and giving Brian Bremer a chance to continue making weird acting choices.
He wasn't a real boy. I wasn't good enough.
You're good enough for me, Brian. He takes a knife and starts hunting for Derek, but Derek actually manages to stop his strike and swing around on the back of the creepy android boy. Noah finally makes himself useful by coming into the room with an axe, and after Sarah gets Derek off of Pino's back, Noah chops one of his arms off. Pino tosses
the one that had the
Noah
knife, that's
aside
good.
with his android man-boy strength, but before he can kill Derek's real dad with a hammer, Sarah steps out with the axe and cuts Pino right in half. The new family embraces, and Derek finally has a fucking line of dialogue.
Who is he?
But before she can explain,
that's your dad.
Sarah gets interrupted by a pervy half-robot. Sarah secures the final kill by
stomping him.
Pino's skull with her foot. And yes, as per the rules I established in the Alien movies and Halloween 3, I treat androids like people on this show. I like to think of it as my own personal insurance for the eventual robot uprising. The movie ends with the new family leaving together.
They count as people now.
Comforting each other by saying these things are only toys. Yeah.
Does that one move? Okay.
Toys, motherfucker. How many kills did Santa Mickey Rooney Claus bring for us this year? Let's
Not
find
that
out at
many.
the numbers. I love you, Mommy.
What is it gonna be, like 4, maybe?
I love you, Mommy.
It's not a
Only
lot.
5 people died in
5.
Silent Night, Deadly
Including
Night 5, and not
android.
a single woman was among them. Instead, there were 4 human dudes and 1 android dude. That gives us a blueberry pie chart with a piece already carved out. Any takers? With a runtime of 86 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 17.2 minutes.
I mean, the first one was like 5 minutes
the
in.
same as part 4. Huh. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Harold the Landlord. The bug shit is gross, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but I fell in love with this death when those eyes got sucked into the skull. Plus, the damn car blows up at the end. Of course this is the winner. Doll machete for lamest kill will go to Joe Petto, whose body Sarah finds unceremoniously in the cellar. And that's it. Silent Night Deadly Night 5 The Toy Maker was released direct-to-video in 1991.
Of course it
and
was.
would be the last of the series until the remake over 20 years later.
Which we're doing
we'll
in
look
this
at that
video.
next time, but until then, I'm James.
It's in this
Denise.
video.
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching today's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Cody Harris, Stephen Vogel,
Shout out to my
Ethan
patrons.
Holmes,
I couldn't do this
and
without
a
them.
special thank you to Lorenzo Antonino.
YouTube's doing
I am
something
so sad
really
that we're
weird right
essentially
now.
done with this series. I mean, the remake isn't bad, but it's not crazy like those first 5. I know they're not as popular with you, the audience, but you know what? They're some of my favorites.
They're not that popular on my
Besides, I've
channel
been giving
either.
you all those extra ones. Thanks everyone. Be good people.
Even though they're crazy. Like, they are absolutely just bonkers crazy movies.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and
Why
I'm
is his beard
re-wearing the
short on
Santa
top
suit
but long in
today
the
for
bottom?
the remake of Silent Night Deadly Night, released in 2012 with the cut-down title of just Silent Night. As you well know by now, the late 2000s and early 2010s were rife with remakes and reboots, and our favorite controversial cult classic with a killer Santa Claus proved no exception.
Flamethrower?
Although Silent Night is one of the less
filmmaking
direct
looks so much
remakes out
better.
there, only recycling a couple of ideas and coming up with a new plot entirely. entirely. But don't worry, it is a remake, and fitting enough, the stars of this movie were in other horror remakes too. Leading the cast is Jamie King, who was in the 2009 3D remake of My Bloody Valentine, and the sheriff
have we gotten to that yet?
played by Malcolm McDowell, who was, of course, Dr. Loomis in the Rob Zombie Halloween films. While
I remember
each of
that
the
face.
original 5 Silent Night films was wonderfully horrible in its own unique way, the 2012 remake is kind of standard and formulaic. But that's not to say
at
it's
least the
unenjoyable.
quality looks
good. A
good
cast and some surprisingly gory kills makes for a pretty fun watch, even if the whole whodunit aspect completely falls apart at the end and in retrospect feels like one giant waste of time. But like I said, plenty of awesome deaths in here to enjoy. Let's say
probably a
count
lot.
I mean, that is the hook of the show after all.
Wait, is this the microphone in his beard?
The movie begins with Up on the Housetop, an actual Christmas song as opposed to those awesome knockoffs from the original. Yeah, did I mention this movie had the biggest budget of the series?
Oh, I would imagine.
A factor of 5? If I didn't, it's because it's so obvious. We watch as a dude prepares a creepy
factor of
Santa
5
mask, while a woman tied up on the floor screams in terror. But the killer Santa isn't interested in her right now, and instead he goes to the basement where a cool shot reveals there's another dude tied to a chair with Christmas lights wrapped around his head. Santa grabs his traditional Christmas axe, but it looks like it ain't time for Yule log chopping just yet. Instead, Deputy Jordan here is gonna get Christmas killed via electrocution.
Oh.
I'm not exactly sure how this electric kill is
Yeah,
working.
wait, how?
It probably involves that metal cap he's got on there. But it's pretty cool the way the dude's skin begins to smoke and his freaking eyes burst open,
like,
reminding me of that car battery kill from part 2. Just
what would you have to set up
with
the
our kill
dude?
count
Actually, don't
begun
tell me.
properly, Santa heads back upstairs in another interesting shot. Nice work,
Like,
director
an outlet
Steven
can't just
Miller.
do
The town
that.
of Cryer, Wisconsin is now short one deputy. So the next day, Deputy Aubrey Bradamore is woken up out of bed and told by Sheriff Cooper that she has to come in and cover for Deputy Jordan's absence, even though it's Christmas Eve.
Get off your sorry ass.
Yeah, cops have to work.
It's gonna be a real clusterfuck.
Damn, Cooper, sounding pretty loomy there. Aubrey doesn't want to deal with this shit since it's her first Christmas since her husband John died. But she's not about to shirk her duties, especially since her cuddly dad Hank Bradamore was a cop too, and she doesn't want to disappoint him.
I am proud of you, kiddo.
Aw, I like to see happy families. It's nice. Apparently,
yeah, happy families in a horror movie.
Because they're out all over the place today.
Are there more Santas than
one of
people?
those Santas than this poor beleaguered mom, Mrs. Morwood, whose kid is a frickin' terror.
Those are Mommy's heart pills. I need those.
You need to take me to the mall.
Oh, someone's getting cold tonight, and looks like Santa's here to personally deliver it.
Naughty.
Salvation fucking Army.
But Stoop Santa ain't here for charity. He's here to take this cattle prod and fucking tase the hell out of this 14-year-old girl. What the fuck? After she gets good and frothy, he stabs her with a fire.
That really happened?
Yeah, it's done off screen. But for those of you who just need to see a dead kid for verification, we see the body later when Sheriff Cooper comes over to check it out. Damn, Silent Night, you killed a kid, yo. Aubrey gets to work.
I mean,
receptionist Brenda, played by Ellen Wong, gossips with her about why exactly Deputy Jordan didn't come in today.
Rumors there's a girl.
Now, don't go getting all jealous of that girl, Knives. Aubrey's fellow deputy, Giles.
This is a picture of Obama.
He's a sickly slacker, so it's up to Aubrey to respond to a call about a town square Santa who's upsetting the local parents. This rogue Santa, Jim Epstein, is played by Donald Logue with his usual sardonicism.
Well, to be honest, Timmy, I don't think you deserve anything this year.
I love Donald Logue, even if this kid doesn't.
Santa sucks.
You know something? You suck. Jim Epstein is a cynical Santa from out of town who verbally spars with Aubrey until she's just about ready to shove him back up a chimney. But she gets called away by Brenda from the police station, who asks her to go check out a weird-smelling house in town. While she does that, we get a pointless scene that doesn't serve any purpose besides calling back to the original. This dude Dennis is visiting his catatonic grandpa at what surely must be named Wisconsin
and then he's gonna
Mental
start talking
Facility when he decides to get naughty and steal from his grandpa's wallet.
Why does Grandpa have a wallet if
Grandpa
he's
comes to
catatonic?
life and scares him with a lackluster Will Hare imitation.
You better watch out, boy.
Start singing.
Christmas Eve is the scariest damn night of the year.
It's a pretty random scene, but to be fair, so was the one in the original, so whatever.
True.
It's for the fans. Aubrey gets over to that stinky boarded up house and traces the smell to the basement, where she finds the corpse of Deputy Jordan and promptly contaminates the crime scene.
In one day? It wouldn't smell after one day.
She goes upstairs,
unless there's other
where
stuff
a
in the
ringing
house
cell
that would
phone
smell.
leads her into a very bloody room. She finds the ringing phone in a drawer with a hand still clutching it. But for all you completists out there, don't worry. The rest of the body's pieces are here too.
Oh.
I think. Might be a toe or
Was that the
something is
girl?
missing. This hacked up corpse belongs to the woman tied up in the beginning. A married woman named Alana Roach who was having an affair with Deputy Jordan. Sounds like they were being naughty and needed some punishment. Sheriff Cooper arrives at the house so Malcolm McDowell can ham it up some more. Hell, he even gets his own Deputy Dewey-like Western-sounding leitmotif.
So don't go playing the hero. That's my job.
In
Wait,
an
that
earlier
sound
scene
effect
with
actually
Pryor's
played.
elected leader Mayor Revy, we learned that the small town only has one road.
This town will die if we don't put another road in.
And now we find
One road.
out that it's currently closed due to weather. So the Cryer Police Department
You
is
have
gonna get
one
any help
road
from
to keep
outside
clear.
sources for this case. Cooper's just fine with that though, because he's ready to be a super sheriff.
This sick fuck is
What
gonna
is a
wish he
super
never
sheriff?
set foot in my town.
Elsewhere in this sleepy, snowy town, there's some softcore porn being shot in a motel room. And when I say this place is snowy, I mean it is snowy. After the blonde model Tiffany, who happens to be the mayor's daughter, leaves the motel with her photo
that
shoot
checks
cash,
out.
the rest of these smutcherpreneurs get a visit from the world's nastiest looking Santa Claus. He immediately
And just
murders
doing this
this
in a
woman
hotel,
Goldie
which
with the
I think
scythe
is
that he's
kind
holding
of
by
normal.
swinging it up right through her stomach and giving us a good long look at her as she bleeds out her mouth and dies. Model Maria, played by Zombiever's Courtney Palm, makes an immediate dash for the bathroom, but photographer Frank is slow to react, and for his lethargy, he gets that scythe right in the crotch. Frank actually manages to survive long enough to distract the killer Santa with a gunshot, which allows Maria
he
to
just
begin
had the
an
gun.
escape out the second-story window. He's ultimately killed off screen, but way to make your last moments count, Frank.
Yeah,
when the
saved
Santa
her
comes
as
back,
long as she
he scares
survives.
Maria straight out the window, and she falls through the air right
Does she
into a bunch
survive?
of trash bags. Wow, good thing it wasn't garbage day. The Santa and his
Garbage
Christmas ass
day?
chase Maria into a Christmas
Dude,
tree
that
grove, where
just-
the spruce selection would make
She's
Clark
going into the
Griswold
wood chipper.
cry. When the masked killer inevitably catches up to the topless girl, he begins the kill by
She's-
hacking off her leg, which sends it flying through the air. He grabs Maria
What a
and takes
swing.
her over to a wood chipper.
Yeah.
Before you can say
Why would they have a
Steve
wood
Buscemi,
chipper
he
at
shoves
a-
her into the machine? Wow, man, this
Before
movie cranked
Christmas.
it up to 11 real fucking fast. The police are informed of the day's crimes, so Cooper goes and comforts the mom of the little dead girl, while Aubrey and Giles tend to the bodies at the porn shoot motel room.
Porn, drugs. When did this town become so sleazy?
In the room, they also find a video camera that's been recording the whole
entire
time. What a
They ran out of
juicy
storage?
clue. They
What
review
kind
the
of
footage
memory
at the
card did
police
that have?
station, like we haven't seen Courtney Palm topless enough already, and discover that the killer Santa is a regular goddamn bagul. Tiffany,
Wait, he
the model
looked
slash
right at the
mayor's
camera?
daughter, is singing in the town square in a quintet of Santa girls. But why even bother with those outfits if you ain't doing Jingle Bell Rock while Amy Poehler videotapes you? They get hit on by pervy pastor Reverend Madeley, who had earlier hit on Aubrey when she swung through a church to mourn her dead husband. And lest you think all
Valid.
the shoulder gripping and salivating is innocent,
That's
nah, son.
weird.
Spread some joy to the world.
To further cement his sliminess, we see him stealing from the collection basket. This guy's just asking to get punished. And what do you know? Here comes
He's
his
going to
judge,
get
jury, and execution.
Santa.
After Madeley tries to get all Jonathan Edwards on his congregation of one
Jonathan
elderly
Edwards is.
woman, there's a great awakening
One
in the Santa's desire to kill. So he takes out a hunting knife and promptly cuts off the pastor's fingers. Holy shit.
Oh,
he
that
then
was
shanks the
looked
dude in the
easy.
belly a straight dozen times, killing Reverend Madeley at the foot of his own pews. The only witness to the murder promises to stay quiet as a church mouse.
I won't say a word.
And the murder Santa agrees that silence is golden and lets her live. The
Oh,
police
there's some
department is
money.
out looking
Was
for
it like
a killer
50
Santa
bucks?
now, and Aubrey thinks she has a lead when she spots a sort of Michael Emerson-looking Saint Nick at a
Just
bar. Looking like
eating.
Ben Linus is PC enough, but this dude Stein Carson also happens to live at the porn shoot motel. As he and Aubrey talk about the holidays, he goes into a flashback story. But unlike the flashbacks in the rest of this series, this one consists of new footage and new information. The story he tells is of a jealous, jaded husband named Ronald
With a
Jones,
flamethrower.
who dressed as Santa and took a homemade flamethrower out for a spin one Christmas night.
And he said about killing them that was naughty.
The desaturated flashback shows how Ronald Jones scared away his wife's boyfriend before
With a
turning the
flamethrower.
weapon on her and firing away. Jane
Oh.
Jones burned to death in the street, reminding me of the falling flaming lady death from part 4 Initiation.
I don't think that was
just,
intended.
Better. After
to be
Carson's story
like a callback.
is over, Aubrey calls the last number in a phone she found at the porn shoot crime scene.
Shouldn't that be
and
in
happens
evidence?
to go to Carson's phone. He flips out and runs away from her, and after she chases him out back to the alleyway, he gives her a Santa sucker punch and knocks her to the ground. He even slashes her with a knife before Cooper arrives.
I was like,
and
why
scares
does she
the
have
dude
her
away.
gun drawn?
Aubrey calls her pops
She
and
wouldn't-
tells him that she's lost confidence in herself as a cop. And it's a nice
I hear
little
she's
character
alone.
scene between the daddy and daughter as he assures her
She
that
didn't know
she's
what he
the best
had.
damn police
Could- yeah.
he's ever seen. It's funny how this Silent Night is like trying to be an actual movie. Hank ends the phone call, promising her that she'll succeed.
This isn't the first time
time a Bradamore had to bring down a bad Santa.
Don't forget that 4
Is
years
he the bad
ago,
Santa?
had to put 16 rounds in Billy Bob Thornton. Oh, that Billy Bob. Cooper is
Billy Bob
convinced that
Thornton, isn't he in
Carson's the
Landman?
man.
It's double S.
Is it?
Carson. It's double S.
Double S.
Oh.
Double screwed.
But even though Carson attacked her, Aubrey still thinks it might be someone else. While looking through the case files or whatever, she sees some information that leads her to believe it's Jim Epstein. You know, Donald Logue.
Why?
Ooh, now I'm scared.
So she and Cooper break into his trailer, which, say what
no
you will,
search
at least
warrant?
it's fucking festive. But they're looking in the wrong place. The Santa killer has arrived at the mayor's stately home, acts all
But
ready
he wasn't
to
at
register a
his
complaint
trailer.
with the city. The mayor himself is out back smoking a cigarette when his wild child Tiffany arrives, already undressing her boyfriend Dennis, that one dude from the grandpa scene. The two of them stumble off to go
Naughty.
open up some presents in the guest house, leaving Mayor Revy all by his lonesome.
guest house.
He gets a call from Sheriff Cooper, but mid-conversation finds a strand of Christmas lights inconveniently wrapped around his neck. Yeah, this is the third time this kill has gone down in this franchise, and
With
it's
Christmas
pretty much
lights.
the same as before. And
What
Cooper's
watch
such
is
an
wearing?
idiot, he just mistakes the mayor's sounds of struggles as bad reception. The mayor's
come on.
bomb-ass guest house
That was
is
such
all
a
ready
good
to host
view
some
of the
more
watch.
sex and gore for us, since Tiffany and Dennis are in there making the same old tired Christmas climax jokes.
It looks like Santa's gonna come early this year.
Before he can blow his chimney stack, though, Dennis gets shut out of the room while checking out a noise, and the killer Santa cuts Tiffany's escape short by throwing his axe at her Achilles tendon.
Oh!
She ain't coming back from that one. To pay proper homage to
and
Linnea
Tiger
Quigley,
just ruptured
Santa
his
impales
Achilles.
Tiffany on the
Oh, we're
horns
doing
of
that
a
again,
animal
huh?
skull, giving us some updated makeup effects on the classic kill that was easily one of the most memorable parts of the original.
But that
film.
wouldn't be
Dennis
that
finally
quick of
gets
a
back
death,
in the
though,
room,
would
only
it?
to find Tiffany's body on the wall and an axe in his back. He turns around to face his Santa attacker, and you know what? The kill here is actually so graphic and intense that I
Ooh.
can't show it in the public version of this video.
Wow.
Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to stay off YouTube's naughty list. But boy, was that kill nasty.
I think
You know,
most
like in a
people are
great
on it
way.
right
The
now,
police
whatever
head
they're
to
doing with the
town
algorithm.
Santa parade,
I don't know,
where
my
they've got
suggested
suspects
videos are
aplenty
like
spreading all
terrible.
sorts of Santa
Like
cheer. But for
videos from
Aubrey,
channels
one
I've never
Mr.
watched
Claus
before
in
related to
particular
anything I've
stands
ever
out.
seen. I have no interest in.
It's
I
Jim
don't know what's
Epstein,
going on.
And Aubrey chases him through a sea of Santa.
They're hiding my videos from my subscribers.
Cooper's
I
the one who ultimately
no idea.
subdues Epstein with his handy-dandy nightstick, and they lock him in a jail cell where he screams for his favorite holiday snack.
Where's my figgy pudding?
That was actually part of a 3-minute rant about how Christmas is a miserable time. And for some reason, by the end of it, Aubrey no longer believes that Jim Epstein is the killer behind the beard. She heads back to the murder motel where she witnesses Stein Carson being shady. She walks into his room with her gun already
It's gonna be
drawn.
her dad.
It doesn't take long for him to pull out his own piece.
She
He's confident
would have
she won't
started
actually
shooting.
shoot him, but when his finger gets itchy, he's proven wrong, and she puts a slug right in the middle of his forehead, killing him quickly and spraying blood all over that kitchen. I mean, it's not like
She
it
wouldn't
was
have just
super
fired
clean
one.
before or anything, but still, someone's gonna have to wipe that shit up. Then, I'm gonna be real, the movie starts to lose me here by trying to be too smart with its clues and twists. Aubrey sees a present on Carson's counter.
Also
and
an
has
aim for the head.
flashbacks to seeing similarly wrapped gifts at the various crime scenes from throughout the day.
Have
She also
anybody
remembers
opened them?
seeing one of them at home with her dad, so she rushes back home in a worried hurry. Turns out there's also one of those presents at the police station.
A lump of coal?
Not a good sign for the cops there, including Giles, who was just about to check out for the night. A random line
So
from
the
Sheriff
coal or
Cooper
targets?
Take the trash while you're at it.
leads to a direct reference to Eric Freeman's tour de force performance from part 2.
What is this?
rather
Garbage
tack-
day?
Honestly, I would
Garbage
have liked
day.
the reference more without the very obvious line, but you know what? Whatever. Give the people what they want, I guess. Giles
Yeah,
is killed
had to.
after peeking into the window of a car in the parking lot and getting an axe
He
swung
he has a
straight into his
flashlight, he
face,
would use
his
it.
eyes, if you want to be specific about it, which I do, because you know it's kind of my job. The lights are cut at
Attacking
the
a
police
cop's
station,
crazy.
casting
At a
everything
cop.
there in
At a police
Suspiria
station.
tones, and it's under these blood red
Suspiria.
lights that Murder Santa shows up and uses his flamethrower to light up Sheriff Cooper. It's kind of unbelievable, but that is in fact Malcolm McDowell's death. I guess you could say it's supposed to be anticlimactic after all of his big chest puffery, but it still would have been nice to see a more exciting kill for the man. Aubrey gets home and finds her dad sitting in a chair with his back to her. As you
Is
probably
he
expected,
dead?
Papa Hank Bradamore
Oh,
is
it wasn't
already
him.
dead,
Okay.
having been totally eviscerated. Oh man, I really like that dude and the relationship he had with his daughter. Sad death,
Where's
especially
her
for
mom
Aubrey
at?
to discover. See, look how sad she is. She finds her mother, thankfully still alive, tied
For
up
now.
in a closet, and after
was a
promising
trap.
to get revenge for her papa, she leaves. At the police station, Brenda
You didn't make
manages to
sure-
hide herself in a
Why
closet
didn't you,
while
like,
the murder
protect her?
Santa scrapes
Like,
his axe down a
bring her
hallway
with you.
looking for her. Instead, he finds
guess-
Jim Epstein locked inside the jail cell, and after
Like, she
freeing
didn't
the
know where
innocent
he was, did
curmudgeon,
she?
They get into a Santa spat.
Fuck you. Fuck Christmas. And fuck your plastic face.
knock the mask off.
Oh man, you don't want to be the first person Murder Santa talks to. That means you're going to get extra killed. Epstein tries to put up a fight, but Santa gets him to the ground and takes out some holiday brass knuckles, with which he beats the guy's head in until it sounds like he's boxing with a watermelon.
We're at 16 kills so far, by the way,
Aubrey gets
which might be like all the other movies combined.
Off thanks to Cooper's burnt head. Murder Santa leaps out and attacks her, and their fight turns into an axe battle, which would be really cool if I could just see what the hell was happening.
Oh, so is there really just a sheriff and 2 deputies?
Murder Santa,
well, I guess there was 3.
His homemade flamethrower and lighting him up like he's some of Nellie's hot shit. The Santa goes down, down, baby to the floor, and Aubrey leaves him there burning as she goes and rescues Brenda from the closet. Together, the two of them make it outside and watch as the Crier police station goes up in flames. Sometime later, we see a dude with a big burn on his face sitting in a truck glancing at an old family photo. It's here that we get our perfunctory explanation as to who the killer Santa was. It was Ronald Jones Jr., son of the angry flashback Santa, Ronald Jones Sr.
Oh.
You know, the dude who tortured his wife.
So that's kind of a callback to like the first one.
Aubrey's dad Hank rolled up. And remember how he said it wasn't the first time a Bradamore had to put down a bad Santa? That's because Hank shot Ronald Jones Sr. and caused his flamethrower to explode all over him. Ronald Jones Sr. died in a slow motion immolation, falling to the ground right next to the wife he had burned to death moments prior. And that's what we call karma, son.
That's what we call parental
turns
issues.
out Ronald Jones Jr. had been sitting in his dad's truck and witnessed the whole thing. It led him to become the movie's Murder Santa this year, and I guess he survived the fight.
Yeah, he survived somehow.
Christmas? Kind of lost me at the end there, but maybe this bloody remake can bring me back on board by putting up big numbers.
It was like 17 kills.
Oh, hey Santa, I'm Santa too. Do you want to... Santa?
No.
No, Santa. No, Santa, no!
Oh, dude, it's so bleak. Oh my god, look at James. Poor James.
17 people died in Silent Night, the
3
most
Santas.
of the entire series. There were 11 male victims and 6 female victims, including one 14-year-old girl, which you just don't see that often. Usually, a character's at least 16 before they become slasher fodder. With a runtime of 94 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 5.53 minutes.
That's a lot of kills.
The Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Dennis. Sorry that I can't show it in the public version, but that thing splits in 2 like a capital Y. And holy shit,
that's actually
man,
insane to do with an axe.
Clear winner. Doll Machete for lamest kill can go to Mayor Revy. The third time
yeah,
is
we've
not
seen this
the
so many
charm on
times.
the Christmas light strangling kill. If you're gonna do the same thing
Can I see
again,
the
go
watch,
big or go home.
please?
And that's it. The soft
like
remake
two-tone.
Silent Night came out in 2012 and is one of the better remakes I've seen since it actually tried to be its own movie while still paying proper homage to the original. Tomorrow is my final Christmas kill count, and judging by all the comments asking for it, it's probably the movie you want me to cover for a change. Until then, I'm
for a change.
This has been the kill count. Thanks a lot for watching this kill count.
And now we're gonna have to go back. The next couple weeks are gonna be weird because we're gonna go back.
I also want to thank some patrons who
Shout out
have
to my
been with me
patrons.
for over a year. People like Kyle Elizabeth Huck, Mikey K, Kenneth Miller, and Becky Richards. Personally, these were some of my favorite episodes, so I hope you were able to enjoy them too. I've got one more Christmas kill count for you, and that comes out tomorrow. Thanks everyone, be good people.
It won't be tomorrow for me because we're gonna have Santa's sleigh. We're gonna have to go back and we're gonna do. I think it's going to be it's going to be Unfriended Dark Web. That'll be out next week, and then week after that will be The Strangers Pray at Night, I believe, and then we're gonna do Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And then we're going to get the Santa sleigh and then all of the birds and Bird Box, which I've actually seen Bird Box. That's going to be interesting. Also, shout out to patrons. Like I said, YouTube's doing something really, really weird right now with the algorithm. Like, I'm seeing so many YouTubers talk about this recently, but it's just like I've literally in a group chat with a bunch of other YouTubers and everybody's saying the same thing, that their videos and impressions just absolutely falling off a cliff. Like, I'm uploading videos and they're getting like 17,000 impressions in the first like a day. If I have 102,000 subscribers and only less than 30% of my views come from subscribers. So I don't know why YouTube's hiding my videos from my subscribers. Don't really know what that is. Thought maybe it's because I'm uploading too often, uploading too many videos, because I upload 10 videos on this channel a week. I also have the alternate channel that I upload 4 videos on. Another channel I upload 2 videos on. The game channel I upload 1 video a week on. And I was like, let's see what happens if I upload, don't upload every single day on the main channel, only upload 4 videos, to see if that does anything in the algorithm, which impressions stayed the same, which you would think if I didn't have a new video to go into the sub box and impressions drop. Impressions stayed the same. Views went down a little bit gradually, but videos still got the same amount of impressions. My subscriber count went up on the days I didn't post a video, which is a little bit interesting. Like, the days I didn't upload, there was a huge spike in subscriber gain. But when the next day when I upload, subscriber gain went down. not really sure what's going on there. So that's why there was no kill count for last week, as well as other channels and videos are uploaded on different days. But we're getting back into the normal schedule of things. Hopefully, I'm actually applying for jobs right now because double tax from the IRS and YouTube hiding my videos from my subscribers makes things really, really bad to live on a super frugal lifestyle. So I don't really know. Shout out to the patrons. Like I said, I literally could not do this if it was not for them. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I look forward to reading your comments. I should be streaming Crash Banooka 2 today at 5 p.m. But until next video, take care and keep the music.